So Mrbeast just dropped a survival video with an insane hydroponic setup in it. 2 people had to use it to survive 100 days in an underground bunker. And since I'm a professional hydroponic grower, that caught my eye and I wanted to react to some of the scenes and give you my thoughts.
I just built this bunker, and these 2 people who have never met each other are going to attempt to live down here for the next 100 days.
Absolutely insane.
Hugo, this is Rain. Rain, this is Hugo.
Nice to meet you.
This is our first time ever meeting. And this is the
There it
nuclear
is.
bunker.
That's the growing system, and we're about to see a close-up of it.
And this is the nuclear bunker they will call home. Everything you would need to live for the next 100 days is in this bunker.
Dang.
You can even grow your own vegetables.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Okay, let's look at this. Let's see what they're growing. We got summer crisp, green butter crunch, rosemary, peppermint. What? Blue rock romaine. That's a lot of different varieties. This is definitely a huge setup. That's 3 by 6 spots. So each level has 18 spots, 10 different levels on 2 racks, which means just the racks have 180 plants. That is way more than enough for 2 people, which I guess shouldn't be surprising. It is Mrbeast. That's pretty nuts. And you know, if we add the center grow towers in there, it's pretty close to my operation here, which has 7 towers with a total planting capacity of just over 300. Now this looks like a classic NFT hydroponic setup. NFT stands for nutrient film technique, which essentially means that within each of those levels is a shallow layer of water that the plants take up nutrients through instead of soil. There are other types like crack key, where the entirety of the roots is submerged completely, all the way to more of a low pressure aeroponics, like my farm here, where the roots spend most of their time suspended in air with periodic watering based on a timer. Let's keep watching.
It's just dirt.
So gross to look at. Hey, hey, hey.
But since leaving would cost them $500,000, they were going to have to make the best of it.
I made enough salad for both of us.
Okay, guarantee you do it right, that's the best salad they've ever had in their life. These greens are free of herbicides, pesticides, preservatives. You're eating them right after they've been harvested, which means they're gonna be more nutritious, they'll last longer in the fridge. There is a ton of benefits to eating hydroponically grown produce.
No to that. Rain. Saying no to that much money hurts.
He'll come around to it. He'll get over it. I think we made the right decision.
So, in an attempt to recover their relationship,
Over
they
a
moved
month
all their food supplies
underground.
out of the way to pay a
That would be
euro
hard.
for their new team name, the Sewer Rats.
Dang, I crushed
I don't know about that
You're
name.
welcome.
But it wasn't enough, because Hugo was still frustrated that he was doing most of the chores, such as feeding the fish and cleaning their tanks,
This is gross.
Oh my God.
and maintaining the garden so they never ran out of fresh vegetables.
Yeah, good job, good job. What would I do without Hugo?
Die.
All right, did you see that? Just a few days and how much was growing in that time lapse. That's how these systems are. They can grow greens really quickly. And there's actually a technique to harvesting as well. Most lettuces, spinach, some herbs are really cut and come again varieties, which means that after you harvest, they'll grow back. And what you want to do is just cut the outer leaves off, and the center will just keep growing for at least a few months. And it looks like what he's got in his hand there is actually a dehumidifier. When growing indoors in a closed space, you do need to maintain good temperature, good humidity. If you let it get too high, it can cause anaerobic environments, which is like where mold and bacteria can form. So production was on point to make sure they had a dehumidifier there for their grow space. While editing, I found something I didn't see the first time. Look at this soil barrel. This is kind of weird to me because most hydroponic systems are not going to use soil. For example, I like using something called rock wool, which is very popular, does a great job. I use it from germination to transplanting in the towers. You'll also see people use clay pellets, more so for crack key hydroponics than an NFT system. Even chopping up those pool noodles and using that foam as a medium, I think is way more popular than using soil. So it's kind of weird that they would throw a soil barrel in there, in my opinion, but some people do. Using any type of soil or peat moss or coconut coir will require some type of a biodegradable plastic or paper cup. A famous tower farm called True Garden actually does this with coconut coir. So having a soil barrel does seem a little bit weird to me as a grower, being that most people don't use soil, but it certainly does look cool next to the system. Let's keep going.
All right. What are we doing with this $50,000? Am I adding it to your bank accounts or not?
That's a lot of cash. So I just want to point out, we are 2 months in and they still have greens over there. So he has been keeping to it, but as we keep going, we're going to begin to see that they don't, and it's going to become way overgrown.
Especially when they're so demanding.
Would you mind making me chicken? Would you make me scrambled eggs? Do you think when you're done, you can make me like a little bit of eggs and chorizo?
It just sucks now. I'm just tired of doing all
Their
the same
editing
thing
is
every
so
day.
funny.
I don't mind helping Rain, but this is like too much. If Jimmy came down here and offered me $10K to leave right now, I'd probably just dip.
I
Spending
don't know
all
about
this time
that.
with Rain was starting to get to Hugo. And when their plants started literally rotting, Rain was hesitant to get her hands dirty.
Yeah, if you just get that nasty water out.
Well, you're not gonna help that?
Nah, you got this.
Thanks, Rain.
I'm gonna do cartwheels.
Oh, this smells. So, I don't know why.
Okay, 77 days in, and it's officially become too much for them to manage. And honestly, I get it, because one, that's a lot of plants. They're growing way more than they'd probably ever be able to eat practically. And hydroponic systems do take maintenance. Eventually you will have to clean them, usually every 2 to 3 growing cycles. The plants will get overgrown, they'll die, they can rot, the roots and nutrient will all get built up, and it's gonna make your job harder, so you should keep up on that. From this point on, they use the systems like shelves, and that's pretty disappointing, but hey, if I was locked underground with a stranger for 100 days, maybe I wouldn't wanna keep up with it either. It was still cool to see it in this video. I bet you this could be maybe one of the first hydroponic systems many people have seen, or at least see enough in a mainstream format like a Mrbeast video to where it could intrigue them to check out the space. They're easy to run. You can grow all types of things, lettuces, herbs, spices, some fruits, even some vegetables. I think it offers more nutritious food closer to home, and just overall, I'm happy Jimmy uploaded and people got to see a really cool hydroponic setup. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my commentary, give this video a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.